Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the second episode of the Casual Collective. I can't believe it. I'm just so happy to be doing this. First of all, I wanted to start off by thanking everyone who showed me so much support on the first episode. If you haven't listened to that first one yet, please go check it out. It's a shorter episode, a nice introduction to me and the podcast, so make sure you go check that out. But thanks again to everyone who has followed this podcast and who have rated it 5 stars already. Thank you. I love you. I have a lot to talk about, and I don't think I'll ever run out of ideas of things to talk about. I am just the biggest yapper on this planet, I think. Anyways, so since the first episode, there's already been some things that have happened, and I just want to touch on those. The first episode, I mentioned that I was on hiatus from Twitch. Since then, I have streamed twice. So shout out to all of you who hung out with me on my live stream on Twitch. That was a great welcome back. There were some themes from those streams that I actually want to touch on today. So I'm super excited to talk about those. Also, I wanted to mention that in later episodes, I'm going to be diving deeper into other themes like mental health and other things that may be sensitive to talk about. So keep that in mind for future episodes. But today, I wanted to keep it a little bit more lighter. I don't think it's really right to just dive straight deep into juicy stuff on the second episode, so we're gonna keep it a little silly goofy today, but also bring in the concept of self-care and why that's still an important thing to talk about. Alright, so let's get started. So this topic came up in my last Twitch stream, and it's come up among some of my friends online and in real life. And apparently, some people don't know what a hot girl walk is, which blows my mind. I thought I thought this was a normal thing, because everyone's on the internet now, so I assumed everyone would have heard about it. But I asked my Twitch chat the other day, and I was like, "Do you guys know what a hot girl walk is?" Nobody in the chat knew. Even the girlies. I was absolutely shocked by this. I was like, none of you guys have ever heard of a hot girl walk? I even brought it up with one of my online friends in his chat, and he's like, what the hell is a hot girl walk? So apparently people don't know what that is. I heard of a hot girl walk, I believe on TikTok. It was a TikTok trend back in 2021. I didn't hear about it then. I probably heard about it sometime in 2023. If I didn't learn it from TikTok, then one of my real life girlfriends must have seen it, and then they brought it up in my group chat. But either way, this is a relatively new thing for me. I guess I've known about it for about a year now, and I've actually started implementing it into my life this past year, and geez, it makes such a difference. Like, you guys are gonna think this is silly goofy, calling it a hot girl walk, but trust me, I think there's some psychology behind it, okay? So anyways, I told everyone in my Twitch chat that I wasn't going to explain it during stream, and if they wanted to know what a hot girl walk was, they're just gonna have to listen to this podcast. So that's the topic for today. I also want to preface this before I move forward. I will be referring to it as a hot girl walk because I'm talking about myself as a girl, and that's originally what the term was called. I just want to preface that it's not for just the girls. The concept at first was a girly thing, but I really do believe that anybody can do this, and I think it can be very helpful for everybody's well-being. So whether you identify as a girl or not, any gender can practice this as self-care, and you can call it whatever you'd like. You can just call it a hot walk. But my friends will call it a hot boy walk or hot walk. So just want to preface that as I go forward that it's not just for the girlies. So let's dive more into the details. So many of you may have heard of Hot Girl Summer, which is when girls will try to get in shape and get tan, get a new hairstyle, get their nails done, get a new bikini, and look hot for the summer, right? So it's kind of like that. It's like Hot Girl Summer, but instead they're Hot Girl Walks, and that is an all year round thing. I looked this up, and this was actually a learning experience for me too, because I didn't realize there was credit to give due to a specific person who made up this phrase of a hot girl walk. There's even a website dedicated to the hot girl walk and the influencer that termed this idea. I'm going to read you some of the stuff that I learned from this website. Like I said, it was a TikTok trend back in 2021. The term hot girl walk was actually made by an influencer named Mia Lind. Her handle, I believe, is Mia_Lind. And she states that a hot girl walk is a 4-mile walk where you think about 3 things. 1, you think of the things that you're grateful for. 2, your goals and how you're going to achieve them. And 3, how hot you are. After you've taken account of your gratitudes, achievements, and goals, you begin to feel confident. So that's basically the basis of what a hot girl walk is, apparently, to Mia Lind and her website, which I didn't really go by the rules when it came to this. I don't necessarily go on a 4-mile walk, and I don't really think of those 3 things in that specific order or structure it that clearly every single time that I go on a walk. I originally had thought that a hot girl walk was simply just a walk, but there's so much more to it. Trust me, it is a simple thing. It's a simple process, but the rewards are so good. You get so much out of it. It might just seem like a silly little walk, but you do feel better after. At least I do. I've been incorporating them. I try to do it daily, but sometimes, things get in the way. Things happen where you can't do it every single day, but I at least try to do it like 3 to 4 times a week. And it's perfect for me because I also have a dog, so it gets me and my dog moving, and it gives her something to do as well. So it's a perfect activity for us. What's great about it is you take the time to put yourself in a space where you're there for yourself, and you can take the time to evaluate your feelings and work through the personal battles that you are facing. Okay, here's some more reason why I just fucking love hot girl walks, okay? This is where it gets silly goofy, because I'm gonna make it silly goofy. Yes, there are a bunch of benefits when it comes to mental health and feeling hot. That's the whole point of the walk, is feeling hot, okay? And when I say hot, I mean more like confident, or like the whole idea of taking care of your mental health, taking care of your physical health, just taking care of your well-being is hot. And I will stand on that. And I'll probably say that over and over again. You are hot if you take the time to take care of yourself. Okay? So this is why, this is how we can talk silly goofy, but then also incorporate mental health. Because hot girl walks, you're hot if you take care of your mental health, okay? That's just how it is, or your health in general. Anyways, so I always set up my hot girl walk by changing into a nice outfit. The nice outfit can literally be the most comfiest thing ever. When I say nice, I don't mean an actual hot outfit. If that makes you feel better though, to like put on a nice like workout fit, then do it, girly, or whoever I'm talking to. But first you gotta pick out a fit. You gotta figure out whether you're gonna go for the gym aesthetic or if you're just going comfy cozy and you're just taking a casual walk. That's the first step, is, creating the vibe, okay? It's important. Then you gotta make sure you get your water bottle, right? You gotta stay hydrated, and your headset or your earbuds. Personally, I'm a headset girly, and I put those things on. I purposely went out of my way to buy a brand new Bluetooth white Sony little headset for myself so I could look a little cute when I'm walking with my dog. And this part's crucial because I either put on a podcast or I listen to music. Changes the whole vibe of the walk. And then you don't even notice like how far you've walked because you're just so in tune with whatever you're listening to or whatever you're thinking about. So like 4 miles, easy. Done. But yeah, if you have a dog, take your dog with you. Get both of you guys some exercise. Come on now. And if you have a walking buddy, dude, bring them along too. They can be hot too, you know? Like, I love it. It's great, okay? Reason why I love hot girl walks so much is because I genuinely do feel better after. I can't tell you how many times though, I don't want to go at first. Like I have to drag myself to go on the walk. Shout out mental illness. But once I'm out walking around and listening to a good podcast or music or whatever, I'm feeling so much better. By the time I get home, I'm feeling good. So I know you don't want to get up out of your comfy cozy bed, okay? I get it. But like just start small, okay? Walk around the block. Walk down the street and back, you know? It doesn't have to be too long, okay? Just for a little while. And then you can make them longer. But I swear, it makes you feel better. And that's why it's a hot girl walk, because you just feel good, and that's hot. And who doesn't want to look and feel hot, you know? Feeling good is hot, okay? It immediately makes you like at least 10% hotter when you're happier, okay? Probably even more than 10% actually. Because if you see someone walking around with a smile on their face, they're already more attractive, you know? Because you can just tell that they're in a happy mood. So, I love me a good hot girl walk, no matter how long it is or how short. If you want to try out the method that Mia came up with, where you try the 3 different things, I'm guessing what you do is you do one thing per mile. So the first mile, you think about the things that you're grateful for. That will take your mind off of things and recognize what good things you have in your life. And then the second one is to think about your goals and kind of see like where you are in those goals, and like also think about what you've already accomplished. I feel like people don't acknowledge the things that they've already accomplished, or they don't acknowledge how much progress they've already made in something. It's really hard to recognize progress when you're in the middle of working on a goal. So it's nice to kind of take a step back and reevaluate your goal and see how far you've already come in accomplishing it. And also see where you need to grow. But then the 3rd mile, like by the time you're there, you're just like, you know, you're thinking about all of the good things that are coming, and maybe some of those burdens that were on your mind, you were able to kind of ease them. For me, I don't necessarily do these steps every single time. I find it more relaxing to actually go on a walk and then kind of break down some of the maybe negative feelings that I have or thoughts that have come up throughout the day and kind of just work through those. Like, for example, since I'm a social worker, I have to deal with a lot of emotionally heavy topics at work, and I don't want to bring those home with me. So a lot of the times before I even get settled down for the day, before I even take my shoes off from work, I will go on the walk. So that way I don't bring it home with me. And the walk serves as a way of me going through each thought that I've had, each experience I've had throughout the day, and then storing it where it needs to go in my brain. So those emotionally heavy topics that might be on your brain, work through them. The walk isn't just really to distract you, it's to give yourself time, space, and energy to work through the things that are bothering you with yourself. And in that process, you are creating this relationship with yourself that you're building and making stronger every day. So seriously, go take that hot girl walk. I swear. It's worth it. And then after all of that, you're also building on your physical well-being. You're taking a walk, you're moving your body. Just the feeling of moving your body, like I know at first you might not want to, but after you do it, you'll feel so much better. I swear. So, if any of you guys decide to go on a hot girl walk or a hot walk, let me know. Take a little selfie, have a good time, and let me know how it went. I'll keep you updated on mine. I will try to do that 3-step thing that Mia suggested and evaluate a specific goal. I think it would be nice to think of a goal for myself and then kind of check in with myself every week or so on my walk and see where I'm at the goal. I think that's a perfect time to kind of like remind myself of the goal that I've set and to kind of stick to it, because I know a lot of the times when we set goals, we have a hard time sticking with them. So I think I'll have to try that out. But yeah, you'll have to let me know if you go on a hot girl walk and if you're feeling hot, because I think you're hot. This leads us into our other topic I wanted to bring up. This is also a really silly topic, but it's about fun little drinks. And it's staying on the same route as self-care as the hot girl walks are. So I'm like, this would be a perfect thing to pair with the hot girl walk topic. A lot of people don't know exactly what a fun little drink is, but I feel like with the context, you can kind of assume what I'm talking about. But I have some things I want to talk about with that. I know it seems silly to just be talking about a drink. Like, Lindsay, what are we yapping about? But I swear, there's some things to talk about for that too, because some of you know, I like to get a fun little drink like every single day. Is it a habit? Yes. Am I breaking my bank account? Maybe. But we're not going to perceive it, okay? Shout out to my real life friends who go out and get fun little drinks with me all the time. They're the real ones. And then shout out to my online friends who I message every day. And I'm like, should I get a fun little drink today? But yeah, that's the next topic. Okay, so when I refer to getting a fun little drink every day, that's pretty much anything that's not water, okay? Let me also preface that we need to be drinking our water, folks, okay? We need to be staying hydrated. However, we can always have at least one silly, fun little drink of the day, okay? And that can be anything. That could be a can of Coca-Cola, an energy drink, an iced coffee, a hot chocolate, a Olipop. That's a good one. I love me an Olipop. Any drink that's not water that makes you feel good and brings just a little bit of serotonin in your life, okay? But here's the deal, right? Is I literally have gotten to the point where I can't go about my day until I have at least one fun little drink. Any task that I do, I need a fun little drink for, okay? I'm sitting down to do homework, I better have a glass of water and a drink. And if I've already had my fun little drink of the day, what I'll do is I will try to make my water feel fun to drink. So I'll put it in like a fancy glass with some ice cubes in a cute little straw, stuff like that. I know it's silly. This is silly, I know. But it encourages me to stay hydrated and drink water too. So, but seriously, every task that I do, I have to have some fun little drink to do it. It's like a reward. Is it self-care or is it an addiction? I don't know. That's for you to determine. But for me, not think about. And actually, as long as I'm getting my task done, I think that's all that really matters. So I'm going to continue to have my one little fun, silly drink every day because you only live once. So I have to know, is this like a collective thing. We're going to bring the name of my podcast back in here. Is this a collective thing? Do you guys get fun little drinks to like complete tasks? Do you do this? I used to do it in college a lot. We had a coffee shop on campus, and a lot of the time I would go and get a coffee before I sit down in the library or in my dorm to do homework. And I immediately like got more homework done by having the fun little drink with me, by having the coffee with me. I was talking to one of my real life friends about this before when we were in the car driving to a coffee shop to get our fun little drink of the day. And we were kind of talking about the concept of like why this is a thing. We came to the conclusion that we think it started around COVID because COVID, we were all isolated in our houses and it was almost a luxury to run an errand or to leave the house just because we were so stuck in the house all the time. And this is where the fun little drink thing came in because it's not even about the drink half the time either. It's also about the journey to go get the drink, even if it's like a 5-minute car ride, because you're getting out of the house and out in the world and like just moving around. So I think that's kind of where the concept came from. Ever since COVID, we have made coffee and iced coffee even more luxurious than it was before because it's about the trip to go get it as well. And then when you include friends to go along with you, it's even more of a good experience because we just hop in the car together and have a conversation while we're drinking coffee. Even if you're going by yourself, which is me a lot of the times too, I just feel good like getting out of the house and like driving somewhere and getting a coffee, even if that's all I'm doing and then I'm driving back home. But it gives me a reason to like leave the house for a little bit and like listen to some music in the car and just hang out. So I think that's where it came from. In my point of view, I don't know if anybody else feels like this or if it's literally just me and my friend, but I think this is where I end up romanticizing a lot of the little things in my life too, which really makes a difference. And I would really like to talk about that in a podcast episode too, about romanticizing the little things in your life. But I even romanticize the journey of going to a gas station to get a lemonade or a seltzer or something, the non-alcoholic kind. But even like, yeah, just taking a little trip to the gas station and back, I'll even romanticize that because it's like, okay, yeah, I'm up moving around and going on a little journey to get a little sweet treat. And sweet treats may be the equivalent of like a little drink because if maybe you're not a coffee person or an energy drink person, maybe you have like your one little sweet treat of the day. And that's totally okay, man. Like you can have one little sweet treat every day. Treat yourself. So, yeah, maybe it's not a drink, maybe it's a sweet treat, maybe it's a little cookie after dinner or a cookie that you packed into your lunch. You know what? Do it. If there's any point to any of this that I'm talking about, it's that you deserve the sweet treat or the fun little drink, okay? You deserve it. You deserve that little ounce of happiness, that little thing. Little things like that in your daily life make a huge difference, okay? So go get yourself a fun little drink. Go get yourself a sweet little treat. If you can't afford spending $5-6 on an iced coffee every single day, that's okay. Make just a black coffee at home. Make yourself a little hot chocolate at home. Or even if it's like chocolate milk where you pour milk into a glass and you put like the Nestle chocolate syrup in it. Whatever it is. Just making a little sweet treat for yourself makes a world of a difference. Anyway, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to stop yapping for today. I think you guys get the gist of what I'm trying to say. All of this is about self-care. Get outside, take a hot girl walk, take a hot walk, and treat yourself to a little sweet treat or a fun drink because you deserve it. Self-care is the best thing that you can do for yourself, and I will preach that from day one. This will lead into another episode later about me romanticizing the little things in life and why they're so important, why it's so important to romanticize your life in general. It changes your whole perspective on the world. But thank you so much for listening today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you go on your hot girl walk, if you get a fun little drink, let me know and let me know how you're feeling afterward. If you're in my Discord, you should definitely post a picture of the fun little drink or the sweet treat that you got and at me and let me know that you made it this far in the podcast because you're a real one. And next episode, I think I'm going to dive a little bit more deeper into my mental health journey, my history, and some more juicy topics. I'm also still looking for what sort of topics that you guys are interested in. So once again, if you are in my Discord, let me know what you're interested in. I made a little suggestions channel, so feel free to drop anything there. I am still streaming on Twitch now that I'm back from hiatus. I am planning to stream at least once per week. I haven't decided what day yet, though. I'm thinking either a Friday, Saturday, or a Sunday. But as I get rolling with a new job and moving and graduating and all that stuff, I will pick a specific day. But for right now, I'm just trying to stream at least once a week. And this podcast will be up every other Tuesday. So 2 times per month, every other Tuesday. The episodes will probably start getting longer and longer. I'm going to try to keep them between 40 to 60 minutes long. Try not to go over 60 minutes, but I am planning on doing some interviews with some people in the future. So those might be a little bit longer than an hour depending on how much we have to talk about. If you aren't following me on any of my social media, please check that out. I am L Weebs on most social medias. And between this podcast and next, hopefully you'll see me live on Twitch. Make sure you are following the podcast so that way you can see when new episodes come out. And don't forget to give it 5 stars. Otherwise, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, night, wherever you are. Take care of yourselves, practice self-care, and we will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate the support. All right, I'll see you on the 27th. Bye!